Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians and their bosses, or the boss, Al Capone, they're yapping around saying, hey, we're going to have Ukraine as a military, weapons manufacturing hub. Okay, bravo, bravo. When the Russians will take care of you and going to take over Ukraine, they're probably going to repossess those factories. Now, what's going on here? We have Russia and India doing the same thing. Say what? Exactly. They discuss joint productions of weapons. Well, if you do that over there, we do it over here. That should already tell you that these guys are in an overt alliance. Let me show you. Which they both obviously gain something. India with Russia, oil, weapons, strategically very well positioned, geopolitical position, excellent. So let's look at this little article here. This comes from Defense News and it is from by the Associated Press. Russia, India discuss joint production of weapons amid Ukraine war. I don't think that really has not anything to do with that, but that's a big problem for Al Capone and its weasel states. Dr. Jai Shankar with Sergei Lavrov. Now this, I should just crop it and frame it and put it on the office wall right here. I like both of these guys. I think these guys are diplomats. Now I'm going to go with that. India's foreign minister met Wednesday with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who said relations between the countries are progressing even amid turbulent times. And Vladimir Putin, the bad dude, invited good friend Modi to Moscow. My new style of applauding. All right, let's see what's going on here. Subrahmanyam Jaishankar's, excuse me, for you, Dr. Subrahmanyam Jaishankar's meeting was part of a 5-day visit. Long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. 5 days, it's a long way. Long time. At the start of the meeting, Putin said he would inform the Indian diplomat about the fighting in Ukraine, on which Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has held a neutral stance. I don't think he got a neutral stance. I think it's very obvious that he was on Russian stance because he was asked, demanded, finger, whatever, by Al Capone not to buy Russian oil, not to do business with Russia, imposed sanctions on Russia. And he said, you know what? No. All right, I'm quoting, I know about his desire to do everything to resolve this problem through peaceful means, Putin said. India is increasingly important to Russia as a market for oil exports, the backbone of its economy as Western sanctions curtail oil shipments. China as well. Why don't you, so that you have, 3 billion people? 2 countries with 3 billion people? And I'm quoting, it is very important to make our trade interaction more sustainable, like sustainable energy. We need to think about how to achieve this. Dr. Jaishankar, they say Jaishankar, but Mac. According to a Kremlin transcript of the meeting's opening, Dr. Jaishankar, these guys are so disrespectful, man. Jaishankar, what, did you go to school with this guy or something? You shared the desk? So, Dr. Jaishankar also met with Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov, who said they discussed, and I'm quoting, the prospect for military technical cooperation, including the joint production of modern types of weapons. Pakistan, and not only, be careful. So, what does that mean? That means bad news for Al Capone and the plantation, including wannabe Great Britain over there. India's foreign minister praised the all-time high trade turnover between the two countries, which he said exceeded $50 billion in 2022. The trade turnover between Russia and China, I think, surpassed $200 billion. But that's about the amount of military aid, weapons, Ukraine received from the bosses, and aid and everything else, And I'm quoting, we expect to exceed that this year. And what is important is that this trade is more balanced, it is sustainable, and it provides for fair market access, he said. All right, my friends. They can, play the little violin over there, talking about the Ukraine military hub and all that. When the Russians are going to take over Ukraine, all those investments will go away. But it seems like the risk is worth taking by the military industrial complex, wherever that is, which is United States of America, Great Britain, Germany, and France. These are the ones. United States by far. But on the other hand, you can see that India gets closer and closer to Russia, and not only closer to Russia, because India is not like under the US's imposed, how should I put it, hegemony, in a sense that you do what I tell you, you don't do business with Venezuela, you don't do business with Iran, you don't do business with whomever we want. And everybody's like, yes, sir, that's what we're going to do. Pop, pop, pop. No, India says, you know what, we do business with everyone. The same as these idiots from a country called Romania should have done. Oh, Russia, bad. We're not going to do business with those guys. They are bad dudes. Why? Soviet Union? Okay. So that's what they said. And they screw themselves. It's okay. Now they're under US's occupation because we have been waiting for the Americans. And I think the past 30 years, let's say, the United States' behavior around the globe should have sounded the alarm bells, clink, 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 to the Romanian weasels. But the Romanians are bought and paid already. I'm talking about, tell me when Romanians will tell United States once, you know what, I don't think we want to do that. And therefore, you know that whatever Al Capone says, the Romanians are, yes, da, o să facem asta. The same here. On the other hand, India, I'm about to say Israel, the big boss, India is like, no, man, we do whatever we feel, it's in our country's interest and our people's interest, and we're not going to screw our economy and our country's, development because you say so. Who the are you, after all? What do you have? Oh, weapons? Okay, and you got what? Regime change tactics? Yeah, we have them too, but it's a little bit more dangerous for someone like India trying to challenge the United States of America. The fact that the United States of America doesn't do anything too bad yet tells me that they really are afraid to make a move. They tried, they moralized a little bit India for the Sikh this and for Sikh that and your religion freedom in your country. And Modi said, why don't you, not Modi, Dr. Jai Shankar said, why don't you take care of that California hateful speech on our Hindu temple? And Americans are like, Hypocrisy is not something that these guys are worried about. Unless, it's someone else doing it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.